Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
For this fuming chamber, you're going to need a large container, cotton balls, baking soda, and super glue. For this fuming chamber, because we're not using a heating element, we're going to combine the baking soda, water, and cotton balls in order to create a substance that will fume with the super glue. You're going to want to put the cotton balls in a bowl so that way you can pour water on top and baking soda, mix it together, and they will evenly distribute amongst the cotton balls. Right now, I'm taking about 1.5 cups of water and evenly distributing it amongst the cotton balls. This will get them nice and wet and absorbent of the water, so that way, when we pour on the baking soda, it'll evenly coat the cotton balls. You're going to want to use about a cup of baking soda because the baking soda is really thick, so it is going to create a lot more with less. I am using a good amount of cotton balls though, so that's why I'm using only a cup. Now mix together the water and the cotton balls with the baking soda on top, and it's going to create about a paste on the cotton balls. You want to evenly coat it so that way it has a good layer of baking soda on top and it will be able to dry. Right now, I am just setting out the cotton balls that I coated in water and baking soda to dry. They have to dry before you can put them in the fuming chamber because if they're not dried all the way, fuming them with the super glue will not work.
"24 hours later."
When fuming with cyanoacrylate, you have to be very careful. Make sure you take precautions to keep yourself safe so you don't hurt yourself. Use gloves to protect your skin and goggles to protect your eyes. Also make sure to do it in a well-ventilated area so that the cyanoacrylate fumes do not hurt you in any way. I'm doing it on my outside porch. This is the mug I'm going to be using today. I'm then going to take my small container. I'm going to fill it with the cotton balls that I treated previously in the video with the baking soda and water now that they are dry. I've allowed them to dry for about 24 hours to ensure that the paste has fully dried on top of the cotton ball. I'm now going to put it inside of my large container prepared to put the super glue on top of it. The super glue contains cyanoacrylate that will mix with the baking soda around the cotton ball to emit fumes. I'm making sure to have my lid for my fuming chamber at the ready so that the second that the cyanoacrylate filled super glue meets the baking soda wrapped cotton balls that I can close it because it will emit the fumes almost immediately. Here you can see me squirting my super glue on top of my cotton balls. The second I am done squirting the super glue on top of my cotton balls, I'm going to put my lid on top of it to ensure that it does not touch my nose because otherwise it could be very strong. This is about 30 seconds after I put the super glue on top of my cotton balls to be fuming with my mug inside of my fuming chamber. This is about 30 minutes after I put the mug and the small container inside of the fuming chamber. I added another small container to speed up the fuming process just a little bit, and you can see the markings and the small little dried indentations inside the container are already starting to fume and mark themselves. Once my mug is done, finished fuming, I take the lid off and I'm very careful not to do it while my face is directly over it. You can see the fuming markings that are on top of the fuming chamber lid. As I take my mug out, you can see the white fingerprints that are left behind after fuming it in cyanoacrylate for approximately 45 to 30 minutes. I take out my cotton ball filled containers and I'm ready to dust. Even though my fingerprints are already visible, I'm going to dust them with just a little bit of baby powder to make them even more visible for lifting them up with my tape. As you can see, I'm dusting the entire mug, and you can see the visible fingerprint as I dust. There are more fingerprints, but because we knew where to look, we are able to find them a bit more quickly than a normal person would be. You can see the mug is surrounded by them, and there are many more than what meets the eye. Right now, I'm just lifting my fingerprints off of my mug with tape. I know which fingerprint I'm going after specifically, so I'm going to ensure that I smooth that over very clearly and that there's no finger indentation left behind. I'm using gloves to make sure that my own fingerprints do not transfer to the tape while I'm lifting it off of my mug. I smooth it over, and I use the tab a little bit that I did not smooth onto my mug, and I'm going to lift it. And here you can see the fingerprint directly transferred to the tape. Here you clearly see the fingerprint that we lifted off of our mug.